Mic test. Hello, magandang umaga po sa lahat. We from the OST6 are incredibly happy to have you in our session for today on healthy food alternatives. This is one of the sessions that is part of the webinar series entitled Business Opportunities in Food Innovations. I am Alan Daryl F. Asuelo, Provincial Science and Technology Director of DOST Guimaras, and I will be your host and moderator for today's session. So to start with our program, I request Mr. Julius A. Gaviota, Science Research Specialist 1 of DOST6, to lead us the invocation, and this will be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear God, we offer everything to you during this webinar. May we ask for your blessing and divine providence that the activities set for this undertaking be successful and effective. May we also retain the invaluable knowledge and learning experiences that we derive from this activity for actual application when we leave this venue. We pray that you bless all the persons in charge, that they fulfill their task responsibly, that the objectives they have set may all be achieved. Your generous blessing would mean the success of this webinar. We know that without it, we can do nothing. May we be living witnesses of your genuine love through the implementation of the knowledge acquired through this activity. Grant us your divine wisdom as we go about our daily task after this webinar. This we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, so good morning once again. So the DOST6 Regional Office conducts this activity as an opportunity to promote the technologies developed by our partner RDI for this session, which is the DOST FNRI. For our participants, particularly the MSMEs, we hope you pay close attention to our invited expert speakers, for they might interest you to the technologies that they have developed na pwede nyong i-adapt o i-commercialize to improve your productivity and competitiveness. So basically, this activity is really intended to help you, our dear MSMEs, because we do believe of your great contribution to the Philippine economy. So at this point, allow me to acknowledge our Google Meet participants as well as our viewers through the One Expert portal. To our MSMEs who were able to attend the previous session last Tuesday on innovations in food processing by DOST ITDI, welcome back at maraming salamat po for joining us once again. For the MSMEs who are joining us for the first time, welcome and thank you for joining in. We also welcome the personnel from DOST FNRI, headed of course by Director Capanzana, also acknowledging our colleagues from the different DOST regional offices, And of course, not to forget my friends and colleagues from DOST6. So before we begin, we just have a few reminders. Everyone is in listen mode except for the speaker and the moderator. After the presentation, we will accommodate questions during the open forum session. All, all participants may send in their questions through the chat window. Just type in the name of your institution, your question, and to whom do you address it. Please take time to answer the client feedback form after the webinar to get a certificate. The link for this will be posted later. So I think we are all set. Our first expert speaker for today will orient us about the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute. So let us now listen to the presentation of Ms. Selena Ann J. Navarro, R&D MSPH, Science Research Specialist 1 of DOST FNRI.
Hello po, good morning. Welcome po sa ating tech forum for today po. So again, thank you po for DOST Region 6 for inviting FNRI to present po our technology. So before po we start on presenting our technologies, we want first to introduce our institution. So ano po ba ang ginagawa ni FNRI? Ano po ba ang mga services po natin? So, ito po ang aming office, Food and Nutrition Research Institute. We are located at Bicutan, Taguig City sa DOST compound po. And we are the principal research arm of the government when it comes to food and nutrition researches. Our vision is optimum nutrition for all Filipinos, socially and economically empowered, through scientifically sound, environment-friendly, and globally competitive technology. And our mission is to fight malnutrition with accurate data, correct information, and innovative technology. So we have three mandates. So we are mandated po by the government to perform these three main functions. First is to define the citizenry nutritional status. Second is, once we have defined the citizenry nutritional status, we have to develop recommendations po for the improvement of the nutritional status. So recommendation in the form of a policy, guideline, or in the form of a developed food technology. And then once we have developed recommendations and defined the citizen nutritional status, we have to diffuse this or disseminate it to the general public through the conduct of seminars, orientation, and training. And this is our core values in our institution: excellence, action-oriented, teamwork, and sincerity. We are also an ISO accredited institution. This is our quality policy. And this is our simple organizational chart. So we are 4 divisions po sa FNRI. So each of division has its own major program being implemented. And ito po yung aming 5 major programs. So I will discuss it one by one po. So our first major program is the nutrition assessment and monitoring. So as said po by mandate number 1 is that we have to define the citizen nutritional status. And we do this po by conducting the National Nutrition Survey. So before, we are conducting po the National Nutrition Survey every 5 years. But in 2018, we started what we call the Expanded National Nutrition Survey. So before, the data we generate for the survey, so naka-generate po kami ng data na ilang prevalence po ng mga Pilipino ang overweight, ilang prevalence po ang underweight, ilang pong prevalence ng mga Pinoy ang kulang sa iron, kulang sa iodine. So, before po, yung data pong na-generate, before 2018, yung data po na na-generate ng FNRI ay regional level data. So, meaning, for example po, sa Region 6 po, for example lang po, nalaman po natin na ayon sa nutrition survey, ang prevalence po ng overweight, for example, is 10%. But, what province exactly in Region 6 yung pinakamataas yung prevalence ng overweight? So, hindi natin mapipinpoint yun because we have regional data. But with the present expanded National Nutrition Survey that the DOST-FNR is implementing, we can know exactly. For example, in Region 6, sa Iloilo, ang prevalence ng overweight ay 5%. Sa Antique, for example, naman pala, ang prevalence lang pala is 1%. So with this kind of data, we are helping the local government units to plan specific nutrition programs for their area. And with regards naman po sa mga food technologies being developed by FNRI, we can use this as backup kung bakit natin kailangan i-adapt yung food technology na na-develop ng FNRI. So, meron tayong scientific data na pag ginamit natin itong data to, makakatulong ako to lower the prevalence of whatever malnutrition problem in my area. So this expanded National Nutrition Survey, we started this in 2018, 2019, and 2020 should be the last year of our expanded National Nutrition Survey. However, with the ongoing pandemic po, survey teams are pulled out po for this expanded National Nutrition Survey. But nevertheless, meron na po tayong data available for 2018-2019. So the data can be accessed po via our website. So i-type nyo lang po sa Google, e-nutrition. It is part of the IFNRI website. So makita nyo po yung mga data per provinces. Okay? So what exactly do we collect in our survey? So we collect anthropometric data. When we say anthropometric, weight, height measurements po. So sanay tayo na yung mga bata lang po yung tinitimbang sa barangay or sa health center. But here, we collect nutrition information across all age group. So meaning simula baby, infant, hanggang senior citizen. So may data tayo. So malalaman natin na ay sa senior citizen pala, ito pala yung problema. Madami pala sa kanila ang underweight or hindi chronic energy deficient. Mga ganun po. Okay? So next po is yung biochemical nutrition survey. So what we do collect? We collect blood and urine sample. From blood sample and urine sample, we can know po the prevalence of anemia o yung kakulangan ng iron sa dugo. We can also collect urine samples. So from urine sample, we can know if iodine deficient po ang isang bata or hindi. So from blood sample, we also can determine vitamin A deficiency. So our blood and urine samples, kinokollect po yan sa field and then tinatransport back po yan dito sa laboratory namin para po sa analysis. Okay? We also collect clinical nutrition survey, health survey, such as if a family po ba ay may history ng cancer, hypertension, yan. Then we can correlate this to their nutritional status. We also collect dietary data. Dietary meaning, ano po yung typical na kinakain ng isang pamilyang Pilipino? Isda ba yan? Gulay ba yan? Yan po. So, kinokollect po yan namin ng data. We also collect data on socioeconomic, below poverty line ba ang isang pamilyang Pilipino, above poverty line? Yung mga below poverty line ba, sila ba yung mas underweight o sila yung mas overweight kasi baka puro calorie-dense food yung kinakain nila. We also collect food security survey o yung kakayahan ng isang pamilyang makakuha ng pagkain. Kasi when we talk about food security, hindi po sapat na meron tayong perang pambili. Ang tanong po yung access po natin sa pagkain. Baka meron nga tayong perang pambili pero yung pamilyang pala yun nakatira sa bundok na kailangan pa niyang tumawid para makakuha lang ng pagkain. So yun po ang ating food security survey. So inaalam po natin yung kakayahan ng pamilyang mag-secure ng kanilang pagkain. And lastly, we also collect data on government program participation. So such is, for example, if a family is a beneficiary of 4Ps, yan, pag beneficiary ba sila ng 4Ps, ano pa bang ibang benefits government program? Nagpupunta ba si nanay sa health center, kapag siya buntis, pinapaturukan ba yung anak niya. So we also collect data. So from all of this data, we can define the nutritional status of the Filipino population. And as I said earlier, this is being used for crafting relevant nutrition programs. Okay? So I have here po some important result of the survey. So madami po ito. Ito lang po ay pinili ko lang to. So the whole result po can be viewed po sa aming website. So ito po ang nutritional status for children age 0 to 23 months as presented po by Ma'am Goyena. Okay? So sabi po dito, ang prevalence po ng underweight among children 0 to 23 months is 3 out of 20 children are considered underweight. O yung kakulangan sa timbang. Bakit po ba natin capture yung nutritional status ng mga batang edad 0 to 23 months? Kasi po, ito po ay nakapaloob sa first 1,000 days po na tinatawag natin. And ano po ba yung first 1,000 days? Ito po yung simula sa unang araw na nagbuntis si nanay hanggang bagong magdalawang taon ang bata. Kailangan ay meron siyang optimal nutritional status. Kasi kapag hindi po natin na-correct ang kanilang nutritional status during this time, ay possible po na maging irreversible na po o hindi na po natin mabawi kung ano man po yung nutritional problem na mangyayari sa bata. So, kung siya ay naging pandak during this age group, during this time, pwede pong madala po na yan hanggang sa kanyang pagtanda. Okay? So, underweight, 3 out of 20 children are considered underweight for 0 to 23 months. Yan. Ang stunting naman po, ano po ba yung stunting? Yung tinatawag po nating bansot. So, naniniwala po ba kayo na ang mga Pinoy ay sadyang maliliit? So, hindi po. Ang nutrition po ay nagpe-play ng role sa pag-achieve ng ating optimal height. Kasi po, pag in the first 1,000 days, kulang na po ang yung height at hindi po natin na-correct yan. In the first 1,000 days, dala-dala na po yan ng bata hanggang sa kanyang paglaki. Dahil po, ang pagiging bansot ay measure po ng chronic undernutrition. So, ano pong data natin? Noong 2018 po, 5 out of 20 children are considered stunted po. And when it comes to wasting o yung mga payat, 3 out of 50 children din naman po are considered wasted. So si FNRI po, meron po kaming technology na nagawa para po makatulong kami na makorekto. So mamaya po, ipepresent po yan ni Miss Leah sa kanyang mga technologies available. Okay? So next po, health and nutritional status of Filipino adults aged 20 to 59 years old as presented naman po by Ms. Shona Patalen. So ano po yung result natin? Okay? Trend in the prevalence of obesity and chronic energy deficient. So mapapansin niyo po, itong blue line po is yung obesity rate po natin. From 1993 to 2018, siya po ay tumataas. So ano po ibig sabihin na tumataas po yung ating overweight and obesity? Okay? So, mapapansin nyo, 1993, 16%. Pero, nung 2018, naging 37% na. So, lumalaki na po yung populasyon ng mga adults na nagiging obese o overweight. Ngayon naman po, ito naman chronic energy deficient. So, ito naman po yung parang mga payat na matatanda. So, from 1993 to 2018, bumaba naman po siya. Okay? Ito po, trends in high waist circumference. Ano po ba ang waist circumference? Ang waist circumference po ay measure po ng waist circumference po ay measure po kung kayo po ay at prone sa bakit? Saglit lang po. Saglit lang po, ayusin lang po natin. Kanina pa?
Kasi may ibang nag-share kaya nawala yung sound. Yun.
Okay na po, ayan. Bumalik na po ang aking slide. Okay? So, waist circumference. Ano po ang measure ng waist circumference? So, ang measure po ng waist circumference ay malalaman po natin kung ang isang tao ay at risk po sa pagiging diabetic or dahil or sa iba pang communicable disease. So, mapapansin niyo po dito, ito po ay trend male versus female. So, ang female po, ang mas madami daw na mas malalaki ang waist circumference sa mga babae kaysa po sa mga lalaki. So, papayag po pa tayo doon. So, ang female po is 23% as compared sa mga lalaki na 3.9% lang po. Okay? Waist-hip ratio, ganun din po yan. Trend, measure din po yan kung tayo po at least for diabetes and other lifestyle diseases. So, 63.7 po para sa mga babae at 8.3 po para sa mga lalaki. So, mukhang sadyang trending po tayo mga babae pagdating sa malalaki ang bewang. Okay? So, ito naman po, trend po ng prevalence ng elevated blood pressure based on single visit lang po ito. So, from 2016 to 2018, nag-decrease naman po ang ating elevated blood pressure. Ito naman po, high fasting blood glucose o makikita po natin na increasing din po ang rate ng high fasting blood glucose. So, malaki din po ang in-increase niya from 2013 to 2018 po. So, ito lang po ay ilan sa mga result ng survey. Kung interested pa po kayo sa ibang result, pwede niyo po yan matingnan sa aming website. Okay. So, based po sa result ng survey, nakakapag-develop po kami ng standard. And this is our second program po, the Nutritional Science and Technology. So, we develop nutritional standard, tools, and guidelines. So, ano po ba yung mga standards na na-develop namin? So, ang isa po sa na-develop po namin is itong Pinggang Pinoy. So, sana po narinig nyo na po or nakita nyo na po yung Pinggang Pinoy. So, this is a presentation po or plate presentation or plate model kung paano po dapat ang itsura ng pinggan natin kapag po tayo ay kumakain. So, mapapansin nyo po dito, kalahati po ng ating pinggan ay dapat mula sa gulay at prutas or yung tinatawag nating glow food. At kalahati naman po ay meron pong galing sa go food at meron din pong galing sa grow food. Sa rice at saka sa protein. So, kung mapapansin po natin dito sa glow food, mas madami po yung gulay kesa sa prutas. Kasi po, ang prutas po meron po yung sugar compare sa ating gulay. So, dapat mas madami tayong kinakain na gulay. So, dapat po kapag tayo ay kumakain, iniisip po natin kung ang pinggan po ba natin ay pinggang Pinoy. Kasi it encourage healthy eating po. Okay. So, meron din pong na-develop FNRI. Ito naman po para po sa mga nutritionist, dietitian, yung ating food exchange list na nagamit po ng mga nutritionist katulad ko po kung paano po kami makakapag-plan ng diet sa isang client. For example, may isang client po na pumunta sa amin, ano po ba yung mga dapat kong kainin? So, ito po ang aming basis for planning. Okay? Meron din po kaming nutritional guidelines for Filipinos o yung 10 commandments on good nutrition po. So, ano po ito? Yung mga eat a variety of foods every day. Yan. So, pwede po natin makita yan. So, lahat ng age group ina-address po dyan sa ating nutritional guidelines for Filipinos. Meron dyan exclusive breastfeeding. Yan. Then, FNRI also developed po the Philippine Dietary Reference Intake. Ano po itong PDRI? Importante lang po nating tandaan dito sa PDRI kung tayo po ay mga food manufacturers or food business ay yung recommended nutrient intake o yung dati tinatawag nating itong RENI. Kung mapapansin niyo po sa mga nutrition facts po natin, sa mga pagkain kapag po tayo nag-grocery, meron tayong nakikita doon na 10% RENI, 5% RENI. So ano pong ibig sabihin niya? Ito po ang basis ng pagko-compute ng ating nutrition facts. So kapag may nakalagay doon na halimbawa nakalagay po doon ang vitamin C ay 5% RENI, ibig sabihin po na fulfill nyo na po yung 5% ng requirement ng inyong vitamin C. So, ito po ang gagamitin natin sa pag-compute ng nutrition facts. Okay? And then, FNRI also develop menu guide calendars po. So yearly, we have different theme po for the calendar. So this year, 2020, ang theme po namin is supplementary feeding for school-age children. Yan. Then, dito po, meron po tayong mga cycle menu and then sample recipes. So, pwede nyo po yan ma-download lahat sa website po ng FNRI. Okay. Form din po ng recommendation, we develop food technology. So, mamaya po, ma-discuss po ito in detail ni Miss Leia. So, ano po yung mga food technology nito? So, ang food technology po na dine-develop namin have to address po ang malnutrition problem. So, hindi lang pwedeng basta mag-develop ng food. Kailangan it addresses a malnutrition problem that can help po the client o kung sino man po magko-consume. So, mamaya po, in detail po, i-discuss po ito ni Ms. Leia kung ano-ano ba po yung mga available food technologies namin for adoption po. Kasi po, kagaya po ng ibang agency, naghahanap po kami ng mga businessman or entrepreneur na makapag-tinda po nito sa market. Okay, so ito po yung listahan. Mamaya po iyan. Okay? And I want to show po yung mga laboratories po namin dito sa FNRI. So meron po kami nutrigenomics laboratory din po sa FNRI. So ano po ba yung nutrigenomics? Ito po ang pag-aaral ng nutrition in relation to your genes. For example, ako po, kahit anong kain ko, hindi ako pumapayat. Baka naman pala nasa gene ko na talagang matataba kami. So yung pong mga ganong pag-aaral, dito po yan ginagawa sa Nutrigenomics Laboratory. Meron din po kaming Sensory Evaluation Laboratory. So kailangan po kasi lahat ng food products na dine-develop ni FNRI ay i-test for consumer acceptability. Baka naman super nutritious na pero hindi naman pala masarap. So yan po ang tinitingnan natin dito sa Sensory Evaluation Lab. Okay? Meron din po kaming service laboratory. So our service laboratory is FDA accredited for nutrition facts labeling. Meron din po ditong microbiological testing din po. Pwede din, tumatanggap din po ang aming service laboratory. Okay? And we also have our nutrient bioavailability lab. So ano naman po tinitingnan sa bioavailability lab? For example, kumain po ako ng iron-fortified rice. Ilang percent ng iron sa iron-fortified rice is bioavailable to my body or can be used by my body. So, dito po sa lab na to, sinasimulate po natin yung digestion process. Okay? And we also have our food pilot plan. So, for example, kung kayo po ay entrepreneur at wala pa po kayong equipment, you can rent po our equipment po sa FNRI. Okay? And lastly po, sabi po ng mandate number 3 is whatever recommendations and kung ano man po yung result namin ng mga survey at mga studies ng FNRI is we have to disseminate this to the general public through this program po, the Research Utilization and Tech Transfer Program. Okay? So, how do we do this? We conduct training, seminar, we conduct orientation, we do conduct media interviews, and we develop popular articles na may mga laymanized pong version ng aming mga studies para po mas madami po yung makaintindi. Okay? So ano pa po, meron din po kaming mga nutrition education kit. So available din po yan sa FNRI. So meron po kaming mga puppet videos, meron po kaming mga games on nutrition, yan na makakatulong po sa mga bata para mas maintindihan po nila yung good nutrition. Okay, we also have recipes, develop recipe, and we also have our quarterly publication, which is yung FNRI Digest. And we also develop annual report. So, Digest po and annual report can all be downloaded via our website po. Okay? And we also have what we call the IFNRI. So, the IFNRI po is lahat po ng online services na FNRI. Dito po, pwede po kayong mag-compute ng inyong body mass index, ng inyong waist circumference, ng hip circumference, tapos i-assess nyo po kung kayo po overweight or underweight. Dito din po, pwede po kayong mag-compute gamit po itong Menu Eval Plus, pwede po kayong mag-compute ng calorie requirement, ng inyong calorie. Bawa, pwede po kayong mag-compute kung gaano kadami ng calories yung isang ulam. For example, sinigang, gaano kadaming calories ba pag kumain na kung isang pirasong pork, pwede po kayong mag-compute dito. Dito din po, under ng iBusiness, ay nandito po yung mga listahan ng lahat ng technology adopters ng FNRI buong bansa po. So, pwede nyo po, sa area nyo po, ay may nagsasell na pala dito ng squash canton. So, pwede nyo pong tingnan through this website. Okay? And dito po sa aming office, we also encourage urban vegetable gardening through this Oh My Gulay project. So this is to promote consumption of vegetables among Filipinos through urban gardening. So this was launched po last 2017. So ito po yung itsura po ng aming garden dito sa FNRI. So may mga vegetable po kami hina-harvest dyan. Ito po yung mga vegetable na pwede pong makuha sa aming Oh My Gulay garden. Okay? And lastly po, ito yung aming mga partners, both local and international. Partners po sa mga paggawa ng research projects and recommendations po for the improvement of the nutritional status of the population. Okay? And lastly po, we are about 200 regular employees po of the institution. So we are composed mostly of nutritionists, dietitian, food techs, communication specialists, chemical engineers, medtech. So yan po ang mga composition ng employees po namin dito sa FNR. Okay? So, if you have any questions po, pwede nyo po kaming i-message sa Facebook or email po. Please do like our Facebook page, DOST FNRI. So, lagi po kami nag-upload doon ng mga nutrition information, recipes na pwede pong makatulong sa inyo sa inyong pang-araw-araw na buhay. So, thank you po, and I hope you learned something about FNRI po. Sana po i-like niyo po kami sa Facebook page. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yes
Morning,
po.
ma'am. Sir Ames, ma'am, sa may Antique, PSTC.
Yes, hello po.
Si Ames Pabila po, ma'am. Abraham.
Yes, sir.
Kaibigan ni Pao.
Yes po.
The presentation was very good. We would like to share this with our PNC staff in the province. Can we ask for a copy of your presentation?
Sige po, makikipag-coordinate po kaila Sir Julius about this po. Opo.
So thank you, ma'am. So for the rest of our questions or comments, let's just reserve them for later for our open forum. Okay? So thank you very much po, Ma'am Navarro, for that presentation. So by this time, our participants are now more familiar with USD FNRI bilang isa sa mga research and development institutes ng DOST. So to continue, let us now technology offerings of DOST FNRI developed and food technologies ready for transfer and commercialization. Let us all welcome Ms. Leia B. Landicho, Science Research Analyst of DOST FNRI.
Good morning. Naririnig po ba ako?
Yes po, ma'am.
So hello, good morning once again. At this point, I will be presenting the different technologies of the OST-FNRI ready for transfer and commercialization. As presented by Ma'am Celine earlier, we have 3 mandates and the development of the OST-FNRI developed technologies is just one of the strategies that FNRI is doing to improve the citizenry's nutritional status. And we are here this morning fulfilling the mandate number 3, diffusing knowledge and technologies in food and nutrition, and provide S&T services to relevant stakeholders like you. As of today, we have this list of technologies under fortified foods, stabilized brown rice, complementary foods, food for disaster or calamity, ethnic foods, squash supplemented products, and we will also be presenting the latest technologies that FNRI launched last February 19 this year. First, I'll be showing the overview of iron rice premix and iron fortified rice. The global magnitude of micronutrient deficiency is 27% or 2 billion people suffering around the world. And one of these is iron deficiency anemia. Here in the Philippines, we have a strategy to solve this kind of nutrient deficiency, and we have a law supporting mandatory fortification and voluntary fortification. So the iron rice fortification is a mandatory fortification. The key terms here are fortificant and food vehicle. A fortificant is a substance in chemical or natural form added to specific food vehicle to increase its nutrient content. At this point, we use iron. And then the vehicle, a means to supply the nutrient, we use rice. Ito po yung fortificant na ginamit, the ferric pyrophosphate powder, and there is a particular percentage na pinag-aralan po nila. And ito po yung characteristics ng fortificant. It masks objectionable iron flavor, mild on stomach, non-irritating, and then is stable against pH, heat, salt, and oxidation. And of course, generally recognized as safe po itong fortificant namin. Ang ginamit po na food processing technique dito ay hot extrusion, meaning high temperature and low time. Ito po yung overview ng process. Ang main equipment po na ginamit ay yung twin screw extruder. Ito po yung itsura ng iron rice premix. Kung makikita niyo po, medyo may dilaw po yung kanyang kulay. Ito po ay kasing itsura po ng regular rice kernel and contains a minimum of 400 milligrams iron per 100 grams premix. No powdering, matigas po yung texture, no discoloration, mahaba ang shelf life, and can be easily added sa ordinary rice. Ito po yung overview ng technology cost. R&D cost, hindi po ibig sabihin na ito yung babayaran ng interested entrepreneur. Pinapakita lang po dito yung nagastos sa research and development nitong iron rice premix. And kaya po malaki po yung opportunity ng isang entrepreneur dahil research-based po talaga yung technology. And kung mag-a-adapt po siya, ito po yung around 3.M ang equipment cost. Depende po sa scale of production. Proposed selling price ng premix na ito is 300 pesos per kilo, and we have a technology licensing fee, one-time payment of 50,000 pesos. Ito pong iron rice premix ang inihahalo natin sa ordinary rice para po ma-produce yung iron fortified rice. So ito po makikita ninyo, mayroon pong dalawang brand. Sa kanan, yung Super Rice, ito po yung trademark ng FNRI. And dun po sa left side, yun naman po yung ginamit ng aming isa sa mga adapters, the Nutridense Rice Iron Fortified. So, dito po, ipinapakita sa illustration na meron pong formulation na ginagamit. Gaano kadaming iron rice premix ang ihahalo sa ordinary rice para po mabuo yung ating tinatawag na iron fortified rice. So, ang ginagamit po dyan ay isang efficient blending machine. Meron po tayong mga efficacy study na nagpapatunay na yung pong distribution ng iron doon sa bigas ay absorb na yung absorptive capacity po noon ay efficient. It can be washed and cooked like ordinary rice, and a day's intake of 4 to 6 cups of cooked iron fortified rice will meet more than 50% iron requirement of the body. Ayan, wala po itong aftertaste and meron pong good iron retention even after washing. Ito naman po yung overview of the cost ng technology. The proposed selling price, depende po ito sa klase ng bigas na igagamitin, is 45 pesos per kilo. So market potential, ito po ay nire-recommend na maging alternative na alternative sa ordinary rice na pinamamahagi during relief operations and sa food packs po ng DSWD. Pinopropose din po ito na maging sa distribution po sa mga 4-piece beneficiaries wherein propose po na 25 kilos per family. Target number is 4,000 multiplied by 25 kilos. Total amount na pinopropose po na demand is 100,000 kilos. As of today, ito po yung aming mga industry partners. Meron po sa Davao Region, Jensen City, Nueva Ecija, and Pangasinan. Kung mapapansin nyo po, ito po ay mga existing rice millers. So we really recommend these technologies, especially to those who have existing rice milling business or in the line of rice milling. Next one, under fortified foods, we have iodine-rich drinking water, our trademark, Tubig Talino. It can improve iodine deficiency disorders. And as you know, ano po ba yung mga example ng IDDs? It can be mental retardation, pagkabanson, stillbirth, and others. It is stable for 6 months and 2 weeks. Like the principle po nung iron fortified rice, gagawa po muna tayo ng iodine premix na ituturo po ito sa mga mag-a-adapt ng technology. And then, a particular amount of that premix will be diluted with the potable water para po magkaroon ng tubig talino. So, ito po yung overview ng cost. Per 5 gallon, around 35 to 40 pesos po ang presyo. So, ito po yung comparative table ng tubig talino against alkaline, purified, and mineral water. The advantages compared to competition, this is science-based, boosts the government's IDT control, and tastes better. If you will be adopting this technology, you will be investing on additional facility and equipment for laboratory dun po sa paggawa natin ng iodine premix. Target markets, school children, pregnant and lactating mothers, and elderly. And if you are already in the water refilling station business, water bottling business, mas malaki po yung opportunity mo makapag-adapt ng technology na ito. Next one, we have stabilized brown rice. We know that there are many advantages associated with brown rice. First, it has significant amount of dietary fiber for dun po sa may mga constipation, maganda po ito. It has innate vitamins and minerals, low glycemic index, so it is good for your sugar levels, higher satiety value, mas mabilis po ito makapagpabusog kaysa sa white rice, and has a cholesterol lowering effect because of the natural oil in the bran of the brown rice. However, there are disadvantages. First, mas mababa po yung shelf life, yung texture hindi acceptable lalo sa mga bata, and mas mahaba po yung cooking time, minsan kailangan pa ng papad. All of these disadvantages are addressed by the stabilization technology of FNRI, patent granted. Ano po ba ang nangyari? Lahat po ng problema ay na-solve. First, improve po yung shelf life, improve yung texture, and shorter cooking time. Na-extend po yung shelf life from normally 2 months, naging 4 to 9 months. Ang pinakamahalaga po na retain yung fiber content, B vitamins, and minerals na nandoon naturally sa brown rice, which can help address lifestyle-related diseases and mineral deficiencies. Improve po yung texture, can be cooked like your ordinary rice, and shorter po yung cooking time. Ito po yung nutrition facts ng brown rice. As you can see, meron po amount for calcium, iron, and zinc. Ito po yung overview ng cost. You can sell it at around 45 to 50 pesos per kilo. Ito po yung comparative table ng stabilized brown rice compared with white rice and regular brown rice. So, makikita nyo po in terms of shelf life. Ayan, extended po. Ease of cooking, mabilis, madali na rin po siyang lutuin. Retain po yung minerals and B vitamins. Dietary fiber. And acceptable po yung texture nito. So, pwede na po itong ipakain sa mga bata. Glycemic index is low to moderate. Primary customers, we are encouraging large rice millers or traders and rice entrepreneurs or cooperatives in the regions. The secondary customers are those that are health conscious, regular brown rice eaters, those with diabetes or are pre-diabetes. Ito po pinapakita an illustration of the total attainable market that stabilized brown rice technology can reach, which is 1.2 billion. Market potential, so yung isa po sa aming mga adapters, napiplace na po niya ang kanyang product sa supermarkets, kahilala po ng ibang brown rice na makikita doon. Ito po Morena, optimized brown rice whole grain. Ito po yung kanilang sariling marketing strategy or brand name. Next, we have the group under Complementary Foods. Naririnig pa Sir JP? We have Rice Mongo Instant Blend, Bigmo Curls, Bigas Mongo Rice Mongo Sesame Ready to Cook Blend, and Bigas Mongo Crunch Cheese. So ito pong mga products na to are basically composed of rice and mongo, the cheapest source of protein and energy. For 6 to 35 months old, ito po, meron pong rice mongo instant blend, just add hot water, and pwede na pong ipakain sa mga bata. Rice mongo sesame blend, meron pong instructions how to cook. For 12 to 35 months old, meron naman po tayong rice mongo curls and rice mongo crunchies. So each ay meron pong a significant amount of energy and protein. Ayan, papakita ko lang po. Ang cost po ng pag-produce ng rice mongo instant blend ay nagbabari, depende po sa scale. So meron po for small scale, medium scale, and large scale. Ito po sa rice mongo sesame. As of today, we have around 37 complementary food production facilities nationwide na nagpo-produce po nito. Next one under complementary foods is Mom C. It is a ready-to-eat complementary food designed to meet the nutritional requirements of children ages 6 months up to 3 years old. It provides minerals and vitamins such as folate, iron, calcium, zinc, vitamin A, and vitamin C. The proposed selling price is 8 to 10 pesos per pack. So ito po very convenient, kahit saan pwedeng dalhin, and napaka-nutritious. Ang raw material po nito, raw materials are very sustainable. So ito po ay composed of munggo, soybeans, peanuts, among others. Next one, under complementary foods, we have Micronutrient Growth Mix. So dahil po ang laki po ng mga micronutrient deficiencies, especially here in the Philippines, na-develop po ito ng FNRI. Ano po ba ang mayroon sa MGM? So, MGM 6, because it is composed of 6 micronutrients in powder form. Meron pong vitamin A, zinc, vitamin B8, iron, iodine, and calcium. So ito po ay pambudbod sa mga home recipes na meron tayo to address or to increase its nutritional content. For example, it can be added to your soup, to your arroz caldo, and other home recipes. Ito po ang overview ng process kung paano po siya ginagawa. Just like po yung principle noong iron fortified rice, ginamitan din po ito ng hot extrusion. It can be sold at 3 pesos per pack. Very convenient. Puno-puno po ng micronutrients. Acceptable po yung cost. Acceptable po yung sensory properties and mataas po yung shelf life. Ito po, yung market po ng MGM can be sold to mothers para po may ihain sa kanyang pamilya, for commercial establishments, and also for private and government agencies, especially during feeding programs. Next one, under food for disaster or calamity, we have brown rice nutty fruity bar. So dahil nakita po ng FNRI yung nutritional value ng brown rice, gumawa po ng mga products utilizing brown rice itself. Ano po ba yung meron sa bar, ready-to-eat bar na to? Meron pong vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, and energy. And ito po yung mga main ingredients na meron siya. We have extruded brown rice puffs, nuts, seeds, dried mango, honey, and other selected dried fruits such as banana. So, ito po yung meron siya, both the vitamins and minerals. It can be sold at 25 pesos per piece. Very healthy. Wala po siyang high fructose corn syrup dahil ang ginagamit po dito ay honey, which also serves as its binder. No added sugar. For retail, market potential, maganda po ito lalo sa mga Weight Watchers, health conscious, and students. Dun po sa mga walang time mag-prepare ng kanilang snack. For commercial, of course, supermarket, health stores, and coffee shop. And institution can be also placed in the family food packs, and can be used by LGU and during military ration, emergency response organization. So, ito po yung example ng market ng brown rice nutty fruity bar. So tinangkilak po siya ng DSWD. Kasama po sa food packs along with different technology by ITDI. Next one, under ethnic foods, we have canned puchero, combination of potato, cabbage, saba, bagu beans, and spices. And we know that the consumption of vegetables helps increase intake of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So very convenient po to, especially for those who have no time to prepare food and vegetables po sa kanilang bahay. So far po, ang adapter po namin ito ay si Century, and special po yung kanilang distribution sa DSWD po muna nila ito binibenta at 26.74 pesos per can. We also have canned laing, combination of taro, stalks, coconut milk, and spices. Yan, same price po. So yung market potential po nito, ito po ay recommendation din po na mailagay sa family food packs. And nailagay na po ito during ilan po sa mga relief operations and disaster na dumadating dito sa ating bansa. Yan po yung example. During the Tropical Depression or DUHA, year 2017. Next group, we have squash supplemented products. So squash can be incorporated sa buns, pandesal, loaf, and pancit canton. Nutritious noodles from a blend of flour and squash puree. Very rich in vitamin A. Magkakaroon po ng natural yellow color and improve po yung nutrition. So, 1 pack of pancit canton with squash, 250 grams, can be sold at 50 pesos. Primary customers are LGUs and cooperatives, already those in the canton business, canton production. Secondary customers, private individuals and households, retailers, and restaurants and caterers. Bakery products with squash, like po yung benefits na presented earlier with pancit canton with squash. It can be sold at 2 pesos per piece. At this point, I will be presenting the new technologies this year, 2020, developed by FNRI. We have 5. First is the multi-nutrient extruded rice kernels, or MNERC. Second, rice mongo curls and baby food blend with carrots. Third, micronutrient growth mix 9 and 15. Fourth, extruded ready-to-fry sweet potato fries. And fifth, sweet sorghum flour. So let's tackle the short description per technology. MNERC. So kanina po, kung nakita niyo po yung iron fortified rice, ito pong rice na naman is fortified with 7 vitamins and minerals. Meron pong vitamin A, iron, zinc, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, folic acid, and iodine. The next new technology, rice mongo complementary snack foods with carrots. Ito po, kung kanina napansin niyo po yung bigas mongo curls and bigas mongo baby food blend, dinagdagan po ng carrots para po mas ma-improve yung nutritional value. As we know, carrots are one of the best sources of beta-carotene, the precursor of vitamin A. The next new technology, we have MGM9 and 15. For MGM9, meron pong blends of 9 micronutrients. So ito po, nakalista po yan sa inyong screen. For MGM15, may blends po of 15 micronutrients in powder form. Ayan, meron din po tayong ready-to-fry sweet potato fries. As we know, locally available po itong sweet potato dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya minanage po ng FNRI to develop ito pong ready-to-fry. And kumbaga, love po ng mga Pilipino kumain ng fries. Kaya ang ganda po nito i-adapt para po maging healthy alternative compared to the commercially available fries and chips na meron tayo. The fifth one, we have the sweet sorghum flour. It is a suitable raw material for the development of rice-shaped kernel, pasta noodles, biscuits, and snack foods. So, as of now, na-apply na po ito ng FNRI sa iba't ibang food tulad po nitong mga nakalista. Itong sweet sorghum flour. Ano po ba yung meron dito? Ito po ay gluten-free and can benefit individuals who need a gluten-free diet. Following a gluten-free diet can help ease digestive problems for people with celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So far, ito po yung mga technologies na na-present ko po sa inyo this morning. And I am also introducing to you one of yung pinaka-latest po namin ngayon, the Enhanced Nutribond. Soon in the list of our new technologies ready for transfer, it will be launched before end of July during the Nutrition Month. So ito pong Enhanced Nutribond. Nutribond, sumikat po siya year 1970s. And the FNRI developed ito po adding micronutrients such as iron and vitamin A. So yung development po nito, the rationale behind, nag-issue po si DSWD ng memorandum for supplementary feeding this year na specifically nare-recommend po yung provision of Nutribond. And also, inline din po ito doon sa DOH along with National Nutrition Council Nutrition Cluster recommendation. Ayan, for inquiries, you can write or call our FNRI Director, Dr. Capansana, and the protocol will be discussed later by Sir De Juan. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ma'am Leia, for that very informative presentation. So at this point, let me first acknowledge the presence of the DOST FNRI Director, Dr. Mario Capansana. Thank you, sir, for joining in and welcome po sa ating webinar. So para po sa... Sige po, sir. Good morning. Para po sa ating mga MSMEs na gusto nang i-commercialize o i-adopt ang isa sa mga technologies that was presented a while ago, our last speaker, Mr. JPS Dihuan, Science Research Specialist 2, will discuss the technology transfer and commercialization procedure of the Institute.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Kamusta po kayo? Yeah. So, I will be presenting the DOST-FNRI technology transfer policies and procedures as stated in the documents of the DOST-FNRI Administrative Order number 002 series of 2013. Since we will be scanning or reviewing the documents, my presentations will be more on text and reading. So hope you join with me on reading and understanding the policies and procedures stipulated on the documents. So let's proceed. So these guidelines are formulated pursuant to the following. So the first document is the Republic Act 10055 or the Philippine Technology Transfer Act of 2009, effective May 8, 2010. And the second document is the Joint DOST-ITO Administrative Order number 02-2010, the implementing rules and regulation of the RA 90055, signed August 18, 2010. Then another document is the DOS Administrative Order number 004, the DOST-IP policy issued April 13, 2015. And next, the DOST Administrative Order number 009, the Technology Transfer Protocol of DOST RDIs issued September 14, 2015. In line with the enactment of the Republic Act 10055 or the Philippine Technology Transfer Act of 2009 and its implementing rules and regulation, and to provide its client with an overview of its technology transfer policies and procedures, the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute issued these guidelines: the DOST FNRI Administrative Order number 002 series of 2013, the FNRI Technology Transfer Policies and Procedures. As guiding policies and legal basis as mentioned under the Article 1, Section 2 of Republic Act 10055. The state fully recognize that science, technology, and innovation are essential for national development and progress. It shall therefore give priority to research and development, invention, innovation, and their utilization. It shall also encourage the widest and most systematic participation to all stakeholders in policymaking related to science and technology, and in the generation, transfer, and utilization of intellectual property, especially for the benefit of the general public. And also, the state shall facilitate the transfer and promote the utilization of intellectual property for the nation and benefit, and shall call upon all research and development institute and or the research and development institute that perform government-funded research and development to take on the technology transfer as their strategic mission and to effectively translate results of the government-funded R&D into a useful product and services that will be down to the benefit of the Filipinos. Next, the state acknowledged that the successful transfer of government-funded R&D, results depend on the proper management of intellectual property development of capacity by RDIs to become self-sustaining and competitive. So as background, the USDF High has the trust to develop nutritious, safe, and affordable food products and transfer these technologies to entrepreneurs for their commercial production and distribution. From this trust stems the FNRI's program on the nationwide technology transfer and commercialization of food technologies that may help improve the nutritional status of the Filipino population by providing economic opportunities to entrepreneurs and job to workers. As such, the USDFNRI transfer its commercializable food technologies, products, and services to MSMEs, industry, and other stakeholders for commercial production. This is through technology licensing agreement. So as presented in these slides, the USDFRI program on nationwide technology transfer and commercialization of food technologies, particularly the rollout of complementary foods in the entire nation, which aims to address the malnutrition problems in the Philippines. So who may adopt the technologies? The transfer and commercialization of different mature technologies of the USDFNRI is open to all NGOs, individuals, cooperatives, corporations, local government units, or educational institutions. So the technology transfer protocol. Interested parties who want to avail of any USDFNRI developed technologies simply follow the protocol on technology transfer enumerated on the flowchart. So this is the protocol on the transfer of the FNRI food technologies. So first, the entrepreneur submits the letter of request to the FNRI director. The FNRI responds to the letter of request and provide the entrepreneur with the following: brochures on the protocol of technology transfer with the list of documents to be submitted, product information sheet, and the technology transfer agreement. Second, the conduct of consultative meeting. A consultative meeting will take place on the agreed date, time, and venue. The following document must be available during the meeting: company profile, BTR certificate of registration of business name, SEC registration, mayor's permit to operate a business. For existing entrepreneur, the document mentioned must be submitted together with the evidence of financial capability, plant layout of existing processing plant, list of existing equipment and facilities. So for startup business, document mentioned must be submitted before the conduct of technology needs assessment. FNRI provides the entrepreneur the basic information, the technology, and discusses the terms of reference and the draft technology licensing agreement. So the third is the conduct of technology needs assessment. So the USFRI technical staff shall conduct ocular inspection or TNA to validate or match the technology needs based on existing resources. So next is the evaluation of assessment result. USTFNRI discusses the result of the TNA with the client and provides recommendations. So fifth is the final negotiation. If the client comply with the minimum requirements needed for the commercialization of the technology, the MOA or the technology transfer agreement are finalized. The agreement as to the responsibility of all parties are finalized. So next is the signing of the technology licensing agreement. So the technology licensing agreement for the technology transfer and commercialization agreement between FNRI, the DOC regional office, and the client. As shown here, the formal signing with our client, the nutrients. Next, so the conduct of training, demonstration, and technical assistance. The client implement the project, purchase of equipment, test run, and set up of processing plant in consultation with DOST FNRI. So DOST FNRI renders technical assistance to our client along with the following areas. First, the plant layout, evaluation of equipment and the facilities, training on production, quality control, the good manufacturing practices, the test and analysis that need to be conducted, product packaging, and product quality improvement. So the details of the technical assistance are stipulated in the technology licensing agreement. So for the production and marketing, the entrepreneur starts the production and marketing after the conduct of the training. So after the production, the marketing, so FNRI will continue monitoring and evaluating the success of the project. So we usually uh, check the business performance of the technology along the following areas: the profitability, livelihood generated, and investment generated. So the USDFRI monitors the quality and safety of manufactured products through test and analysis for a fee. Continuous technical assistance is provided to the client as provided in the agreement. Should the client decide not to continue the project, a formal letter must be given to the USFNRI by the client. So with regard to the development and technology transfer costs, DOST-FNRI charges a minimal amount for development and technology transfer costs to be paid as licensing fee upon signing of the technology licensing agreement. The licensing fee must be paid in lump sum by the technology adopter based on the billing statement sent by the institute. The development and technology transfer cost or the technology licensing fee varies per technology, which ranges from 5,000 to 100,000. With regard to the royalty, the USFNRI also charges royalty on selected technologies based on the following scheme. Lump sum royalty payment. Adopters may opt for a one-time payment of royalty instead of paying it semi-annually for 5 years. And next is the running royalty payment, 1% of the gross sales for the first 2 years and an increase of 2% from the third to fifth year of the agreement. So the other provision, the SFNRI does not charge any development and technology transfer costs for the transfer of the technologies considered as public good. Like for example, the complementary food and the bakery products with the squash, these are all public good technology. So the USFR does not allow the disclosure of any information, example, the process, the product formulation, nor the transfer of the technology to any other parties without its consent, even beyond the termination of the agreement. Next, the licensee granted to the adopter is non-exclusive. To determine the readiness of the potential adopters in the region, the USFNR requests the concerned provincial S&T director to submit the following documents for evaluation: the TNA report, floor plan of the production area, list of available equipment, pictures of the production area and the existing equipment, and the GMP compliance status report using the form provided by the UST FNRI. The schedule of the conduct of technology transfer training will be on a mutually agreed upon date as soon as the necessary papers are submitted and signed, and the technology transfer fee shall have been paid. Requesting party will shoulder the expenses related to the conduct of the technology transfer training. So for inquiries, you may write or call our director, Dr. Mariby Kapansan, as presented on this screen. So as reference, the Republic Act, the Joint BOC-IPO, the Administrative Orders, and the FNRI Administrative Order Number 002, the FNRI Technology Transfer Policies and Procedures. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir JP.
Thank you
At this
po.
point, at this point, we will use the remaining time for the open forum session. So again, if you have questions, you may type them in sa chat box natin. So let me start po from the question po from Ma'am Miriam Monda from Northern Mindanao. Anyone po from FNRI can answer her question. She's asking po if do we have private adapters for the technology, example yung iron fortified rice. Tapos may second question pa po siya, can we also fortify corn grit?
Hello, good morning. Yes po, for yung pong question regarding sa kung meron pong private adapter for iron fortified rice, meron po tayong private adapter si Nutridense Food Corporation, situated in Santa Barbara, Pangasinan. And yung second question po, possible pong i-fortify ang corn grits, tama po ba?
Yes po, tama po.
Opo. Possible po siya, yung pong mga ganong suggestion ay nire-relate po namin sa aming mga technology generators for other possible inclusion or consideration sa kanilang pipeline for development.
Sige, thank you po, ma'am.
Opo.
Sige po. So we have another question po coming from NCR. This is from Ma'am Yvette Narciso. So her question is, how much is the initial investment sa water station potential business? Siguro this is in relation po sa tubig talino na technology.
Hello. Regarding po sa investment for tubig talino, kapag po meron na pong existing water refilling station, less na po yung investment, mga around 200 to 400,000 po. It can be less pa, depende po dun sa estado po ng facility na malalaman po during technology needs assessment.
Sige po, thank you po. So another question po coming from Car. Question is from Sir John Philip. So yung question niya po is, for tubig talino, so after the technology transfer, are the raw materials or ingredients for the technology available in the market, or do we need to avail directly from FNRI?
Regarding po dun sa raw ingredient, which is basically yung pong iodine source, meron po kaming i-refer po namin kayo doon sa supplier. So hindi po siya nabibili directly from FNRI. We will just refer to a third-party supplier.
Sige po. So another question coming from Ma'am Miriam Mondia from Northern Mindanao. So she's asking po if we know po if we still need to maintain the request for royalty for a technology to be transferred.
Pardon, sir? Nakamute ka, sir.
Sige po. Sorry po. So Ma'am Miriam po is asking if we still need to maintain the request for royalty for a technology to be transferred.
As mentioned, sir, the royalty that we'll be collecting is still unnegotiable. So, siguro dun sa negotiating ano lang po natin kung we agree na kung papayag ang ating discussion, we can waive din siguro or depende po sa pag-uusapan during the negotiation.
Okay po. Thank you. So another question coming from our YouTube viewer from Ma'am Lenny Mendoza. So she's asking, how did FNRI stabilize brown rice? We hope there were no chemical processes or invasive technologies applied. Thank you.
Ayan. Regarding po sa stabilized brown rice, as mentioned po earlier, this is patented for 20 years. So it's a process po combining po yung temperature. So gamit po ng heat treatment, which will be discussed or elaborate kapag po itina-transfer po namin yung know-how, certified po na walang chemical na ginagamit sa stabilization. It is a combination of temperature and yung pong machine na ginagamit. Heat po. Yun po yung aming pinag-aralan.
Sige po, thank you po, ma'am. So, another question po coming from Ma'am Miriam. So, maraming questions si ma'am now from Northern Mindanao. So, she's asking po, so are we monitoring the movement of the iron fortified rice in the market? Like, for example, the adaptability of the consumers?
Meron po sa aming process doon sa technology, protocol on the transfer of technologies, yung monitoring and evaluation. At least once a year, pinupuntahan po namin yung aming adapter. For example, si Nutridents for Iron Fortified Rice, napuntahan po namin siya yearly, napupuntahan. And nakukuha po namin kung ano po yung kanyang market reach, kumikita po ba siya, ano po yung mga problems na na-encounter niya during commercialization of the IFR. So yes po, may data po tayo regarding dyan.
Okay, so thank you very much po, ma'am. So we have another question coming from Ma'am Bel Gonzaga, one of our participants here sa Google Meet. So we have availed bottle filling machine through the setup iFund. If we avail the tubig talino, what more do we need?
Ayan po, as presented din po earlier, meron po tayo mga additional investment. Basically po, isang laboratory room, approximately 4 square meter. Meron po mga equipment na gagamitin during po sa fortification. For example, mga digital dispenser, digital platform balance, glasswares sa pagsukat po ng ating mga fortificant. So yun po basically yung additional investment.
Additional din po, so doon po sinasabi ko kanilang technology transfer policies and procedures. So kinakailangan ni ma'am sumulat sa aming director, si Dr. Marilyn Capansana, letter of request or letter of intent just to facilitate the transfer of the technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So more questions are coming in. So we have a question from Ma'am Beverly Pineda of from Eastern Visayas. Are there any technologies available in the market? Example po sa ethnic foods like puchero, vegetable mix, and processed laing.
Ayan, so far po, ang kinikater po ng Century Canning ay it's institutional po yung kanilang market, which is mainly DSWD. Hindi pa po nila ito nailalabas commercially, for example, sa mga stores and supermarkets because maybe they have their own plan for now. And also considering po yung availability, yung volume po ng ingredients na kailangan to cater the mainstream market. Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am. So we are still waiting for the questions pa po to come in. So if you have any questions po for our participants here sa Google Meet and for our viewers sa One Expert Portal, so you may write them down sa chat box natin para mabasa po natin para sa ating mga speakers po. So another question po. A follow-up question from Ma'am Bel Gonzaga. So to all technology transfer, do you have market linkage to help in moving the product? Or another question, do you already have a ready market? Can we be linked with government agency? So nakuha po natin, ma'am, yung questions. So ulitin ko, ma'am. So question ni Ma'am Bel is, to all technology transfer, do you have market linkage to help in moving the product? Do you already have a ready market? And can we be linked with government agencies? So may tatlong question po si Ma'am Bel.
Sige po. Bali, sige ako po muna and then meron pong maaaring isagot pa si Sir JP later. So ngayon po sa questions, una ko pong naisip ay, yes po, meron po tayong predetermined market. Katulad po ng nabanggit kanina ni Ma'am Sean, ang rationale po behind the development of each technology is a particular nutritional problem. So, per technology, may sinasagot po siya nutritional problem. So, ang predetermined po market po natin doon, yung particular or specific nutritionally vulnerable population. It can be sa children, adults, or sa mga senior citizens or pregnant lactating women. Yun po yung ating mga main customer or direct end user. Regarding naman po sa market linkage, meron na po tayong mga ginagawang partnerships. So ngayon po, meron po mga linkage, for example, sa mga DTI exhibits, mga forums. Meron po tayong mga proactive approach sa mga businessman. So nagagawa po kami ng mga breakfast meeting to present our technology. Nabanggit po na na-sign po example, Nutriban, sa mga family food packs, yung pong ating mga iron fortified rice, mga canned laing, ayan. So meron po tayong market potential. Ayan po. Baka po meron pong gustong idagdag si Sir JP.
As mentioned nga po ni Leia, so pwede natin isama yung ating mga technology adapters sa presentation namin pag nagkakondak po tayo ng technology forum or mga trade fairs po. Pero sa FNRI, nag-develop din po tayo sa ating website ng technology transfer monitoring map, yung tinatawag na ET2M2. So pwede na lang bisitahin yung aming website. So may isang channel doon, may isang part po doon ng aming website na makikita nila doon sa ET2M2 yung ating mga adapters na ho, yung mga partners na ho natin sa mga particular technology. So kung meron tayong mga investors or meron tayong mga prospective client, pwede lang silipin or tingnan kung sino-sino ba yung mga adapters natin nito para sa gayon makuha nila yung contact person at makapag-network din po sila dun po sa ating mga prospective clients po. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ma'am Leia, Sir JP. So okay, sorry for that. We have another question po coming from Ma'am Zenny Lanzado, one of our YouTube viewers from Misamis Occidental. So her question is, I am a bakery owner. Are there any bakery products na pwede po bang i-adapt and how much po yung initial investment?
Ayan. So, maganda yung kanyang tanong, no? So, timely, no? So, we are disseminating the information sa development po ng ating enhanced Nutriban. So, way back po, meron po tayong technology dati na yung tinatawag po nating mga bakery products with the squash. So, ang maganda nito, naka-waive na po yung technology licensing fee. So, you can adapt the technology. So, for ano na siya, naka-waive po yung licensing fee po nito. So, anytime, pwede na po siyang sumulat sa DOCFNRI, tapos i-facilitate lang yung mga documents na kakailanganin, isubmit po sa FNRI, and we will evaluate po kung yung mga requirements po na na-submit niya. So, siyempre, kailangan po yung kanyang facility ay GMP compliant. No? So, kung existing bakery na po, yung kanyang facility ay mas maganda, mas madali. So, i-augment na lang natin na maging GMP compliant yung kanyang facility. Tapos, yun nga, submit yung mga requirements, evaluate namin, tapos bibisitahin natin to see kung GMP compliant na, and we will do the technology transfer po. So sana makapagpadala sa amin si Ma'am ng letter of intent para ma-facilitate natin yung transfer ng technology. Thank you po.
Sige po. So thank you, Sir JP. Another question po from one of our YouTube viewers. The question is from Ma'am Wenelin Dionsay. If we are going to adapt, one of the new technologies for this 2020, what would be the agreement there?
Hello po. Agreement po. As discussed po by Sir JP earlier, magkakaroon po ng umpisa po ay consultative meeting. Ayan, to further assess yung needs and yung vision po ng target, nung pong potential adapter. And then magkakaroon po ng mga assessment, technology needs assessment. So, ang agreement po na kalakip noon kapag po ready na po siya mag-invest dun sa mga raw materials, sa facility na GMP compliant, meron pong technology licensing agreement na tinatawag na ang visa po niya ay good for 5 years po. Doon po naka-stipulate yung mga rules and regulations na sinusunod po within yung pong transfer and commercialization. So ito pong agreement na ito ay non-exclusive. Yan.
Thank you, Ma'am Leia. So at this point, meron pa po ba tayong mga katanungan from our viewers? Okay, so I guess wala na po tayong questions. I think that was the last question for today. So thank you very much po sa ating mga speakers for answering yung mga queries ng ating viewers. I think na-answer naman lahat ng mabuti po yung mga katanungan nila. So at this point, it is our privilege to hear the closing message of no less than the Director of DOST FNRI. So let us now hear the message of Dr. Mario V. Capanzana.
Hello, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat o magandang tanghali sa ating lahat. Una-una, maraming salamat Allen sa pag-moderate ng ating discussion sa araw na ito. I'd like to greet also the head of the DOST Region 6, Engineer Rowan Gelonga. I hope that you are around. Thank you for initiating this under one expert. I think this is very timely because at this point we need to strengthen and our technology transfer, particularly to help improve the current situation, particularly in generating livelihood and in part of as part of FNRI, improving nutrition. As during this pandemic, one of the areas that we need to look at is improve immunity through our food intervention. And we are happy that with this initiative of informing our different stakeholders from the DOST and the regional offices, will able to communicate the existing information and the new information that we want to roll out. That may help improve nutrition situation of the country. So just recently, if I may have plugged in, they may have presented this to you earlier. One of the areas that we are concentrating at the moment, aside from all other technologies, know-how, is the our complementary food. So we have set up different production facilities in the region such that this can be linked to the current program of the government. And this is responding to the malnutrition program implemented by the Department of Social Welfare, Department of Health, and for older children is the Department of Education. So with the existence of our complementary food processing facilities strategically located in different areas of the country, we'll be able to provide or supply the needed information or technology or product uh, that the market may need. And the other one is, of course, just recently, maybe this week, uh, we um, we pitch we are promoting or we are advocating a new innovative product, what we call, it's not actually new, but we enhance the nutritional quality of our bread. Our motivation in this particular uh, programs or project is that the Department of Social Welfare issued a memorandum uh, to all um, to all regional offices conducting feeding program and directed the program in the region in the conduct of this feeding program to use a product that will respond to the nutritional quality. And this is also, and this is our response, the enhanced Nutriban. You may recall that during pandemic, uh, the conduct of school feeding program or the supplementary program, feeding program of the SWD is quite is challenged because of social distancing. So we thought that through this product na madaling it is produced or and be part of the food distribution of the SWD to the recipient children of their uh, feeding program, mas madali siya because wala nang there's be less contact among the recipients. So ibibigay na lang ito sa mga bahay and for the children to consume as part of the uh, improvement of their nutrition status. So mas madali siya compared with the hot meals, which is again, you need to do the preparation, cooking, which at this condition is quite impossible because of the social distancing area. Social distancing being imposed by the local government unit. So mas convenient, mas madali. So there's a question earlier on linking that technology or the product or the industry to the market. And this is a good example of of linking the technology, the product to the potential market. We have the product produced by our selected bake shop or adapter, a bakery, and then the DSWD downloaded some funds for this program. The usual funding provided by DSWD in the conduct of supplementary feeding. So they are looking for commodity that will be used or that will be procured, produced in the local setting, and then such that they can implement the supplementary feeding program. So napakagandang opportunity po ito to those who are our existing partner and those who are potential partner. So sa ating mga PSTD, maybe you can help promote this concept. And this is fully supported by the Interagency on Task Force on Zero Hunger because we need to meet the target set by the Philippines come 2020, 2030 or 2025 that we have the zero hunger. This is also a response to SDG, Sustainable Development Goal number 2. So yun po yung isa naming kasalukuyang ipopromote at humahanap kami ng katuwang para ma-scale out ito sa buong Pilipinas. So the raw materials are available. Production facilities are available using the existing bake shop either micro, small, etc. And our technology transfer group is always ready to provide the technical assistance as to the commercialization and production. So this is public good, and we want to help improve the nutrition situation of the country. So with your assistance, with your help, we'll be able to meet our sustainable development goal of zero hunger by 2030, or 20, the most is 2025. So lastly, I'd like to thank all of you for being part of this, and thank you to the regional office and to all the regions represented in today's forum. I thank also our speakers for the information. Should you need more, you just contact them or send us a letter, and we'll be happy providing you with all the assistance. So keep safe, and maraming salamat. Up to you, Allen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Capanzana. And of course, thank you to the USD FNRI for partnering with us in this morning's webinar. So if you're interested to avail of the technologies discussed or for any of your concerns, you may check on the link posted. Also posted is the link to the client feedback form. We hope that all participants can take time to fill this out before leaving the webinar. Okay, so that ends our webinar for today. Thank you again to our speakers coming from DOST FNRI. Of course, thank you to Dr. Capansana for being with us. Thank you to our participants, and we hope to have you again in our future webinar. Actually, that is scheduled in July. So July 8, 2020, let me invite you to the next webinar on basic concepts and innovations in food packaging. So again, good morning and keep safe, everyone.
Thank you, Doc Mar. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Salamat po.